Hello and welcome to Midweek News episode 104 for Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. Let's get into it. The Raspberry Pi Pico 2W has been announced at just $7, powered by the RP2350 microcontroller, Infineon CYW 43439 modem. It's a worthy successor to the RP2040 baseboards. If you're a tinkerer, this would make a great base for a project this winter. Firefox 133 is available for download. Highlights include ability to show tabs from other devices in the tab overview menu, GPU accelerated Canvas 2D enabled by default for Windows users, bounce tracking protection. For Linux users, it supports accent colors in GNOME 47 and KDE Plasma 6.2, and for Mac users, it improves the emoji picker and picture-in-picture issues that existed previously. There are also various other updates for developers. The upcoming Linux Kernel 6.13 to show number of hung tasks since reboot. For those who like details, /proc/sys/kernel/hung_task_detect will be added to keep a count of hung tasks. This could be interesting in some use cases. Hey everybody, I wanted to interrupt this episode of Midweek News to ask for your help. I've got a new poll posted on the community tab, and I want your help in giving me some direction as we move into 2025. As a poll, YouTube only allows me to have 4 questions, so here they are. Would you prefer to see option A, in-depth tutorials for Open Media Vault, Proxmox, and others? Option B, Linux distribution reviews going back to the roots of the channel. That's the way it all started after all. Option C, networking reviews and walkthroughs. Or option D, more behind the scenes insights into what make me tick, more of a vlog style addition to other content. Head on over there, let your voice be heard, and if an option doesn't fit what you're thinking, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can work in. Let's get back to the episode. PlaytronOS Alpha 2. In this version, we have expanded NVIDIA support, more handheld PC support, and various fixes for game conflicts for Epic Store and Good Old Games stores. New sound effects, battery use improvement, and over 100 bugs identified and fixed. This is definitely a project I will be watching and perhaps testing in the near future. elementaryOS 8, released with new dock and more. Based on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS with the 6.8 kernel, we have an expanded quick settings menu, reworked settings applet, first run wizard overhaul, new cursors adding color, new fonts app, Wayland session is now available, Pipewire is the default sound server. This should all make for a great release, and I'm looking forward to doing some experimenting with it. Flash-friendly file system updates. F2FS brings an interesting device aliasing feature to the upcoming 6.13 kernel. This feature allows for an option to temporarily have another file system within the F2FS partition. This sounds interesting, although I'm not quite sure I have a realistic use case for it right now. The Raspberry Pi Comput Module 5 is available starting at $45. In addition to the Pico 2W microcontroller board, the Comput Module is of particular interest. Making use of various carrier boards, you can use a Comput Module to take a Pi project past the development stage and turn it into a product. Available with 2, 4, or 8 gigs of LPDDR4X RAM, and with 16, 32, or 64 gigs of eMMC non-volatile memory. There will be a 16 gig model launched in 2025. Several accessories were also launched in parallel, including an I/O board, an I/O case, a cooler, and a development kit. This marks an interesting point in the Pi 5 product lifecycle. Hopefully, production can keep up with demand this time around. Steam Controller 2 design leaked. The original Steam controller was interesting but not widely available when I started to really use Steam again. A new controller from Steam would be an interesting development for the few games I play, especially if it becomes one of the more universal controllers. There are currently some games that only work with Xbox or PlayStation type controllers, but not the controller from the other brand. An interesting development for sure. Warp. The AI terminal relaxes the login requirement. Intended as a means to allow collaboration in the terminal space, Warp has always required a login. Now the team building Warp has relaxed this requirement as it prepares the Windows port of the tool. It will be interesting to see if this change in requirements will result in a larger adoption of Warp. Calibre 7.2 eBook Manager and Reader. This release adds a fix for the read aloud bug, PDF conversion enhancements, docx conversion fixes, including proper table of contents nesting. Notifications will show on Windows if the system tray icon is disabled. A scroll bar fix for macOS in dark mode is also among the fixes. Available for Linux, macOS, and Windows. LibreOffice 25.2 is available for testing. Improvements include subtle refinements to Writer, the word processor, import-export of connections.xml content in Calc, the spreadsheet, and the interaction dialog for click actions is now asynchronous in Impress, the presentation program, along with many slight improvements for Impress templates. The stable release should be available in late January or early February. And last but not least, we have a featured app of the week. This is Clapgrep. Clapgrep is a Linux GUI app which allows searching through PDF and text documents. This tool is a graphical answer to tools like grep, PDFgrep, and ripgrep. Built in Rust and Python, available on FlatHub as a Flatpak, which will run on most graphical desktops on Linux. At this time, there is no support for macOS or Windows. And that brings us to the end of episode 104. Hopefully, the news will stay hot over the next couple of months when the temperatures continue to drop. Thank you once again for watching, and have a great day.